Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I show you a live recap of all the trades that I do on a weekly or daily basis. Today was a very choppy day, but it was pretty good. I'm actually in a trade right now for QQQ. I have a call that I entered around 493, 494. Right when that first red candle formed is when I ended up buying a call because I knew that we were breaking out to the upside. So right now we're just watching it on the 5-minute time frame. As you can see, we're having some buyers come in, and that's more of like a breakout. We do have a large selling volume of 35.9K people coming in every 5 minutes selling. So that's why we have some significant drop downs. Right at open bell, I took a trade on a QQQ put, which I got in around 496, and I rode that last super long candle all the way down, and then I sold. I was going to keep holding a little bit longer, but when I saw that we might be going over the blue EMA, I ended up selling. That right there was about a 22 to 33% ROI on the QQQ put. Right now we're doing a QQQ call that I'm just watching. We have 40 seconds left on the 5-minute time frame. I also like to change the time frame to the 1 day or the 1 week just to see the overall trend. I will say I do think that QQQ may drop even more to about $483 per share before we see it ripping past 505. Now, market sentiment, there is some talks of, rate cuts coming in September, and the elections are coming up. And after the assassination on former President Donald Trump, we might see a great shift in the market, kind of like how we saw today. So I don't like how the green candle formed on the bottom instead of the top. That right there shows me that we might be curving to the downside, especially because the MACD is wanting to curve. And as you can see, the candlestick is actually pushing down on the 5-minute time frame. And remember, we have a QQQ 1 DTE call that we're watching right now that we entered on that first red candle breakout. So even though it is pumping down, I'm not in the negative because I bought the contract when it was super cheap. So we're still in the positive right now. So I am just watching QQQ. It looks like we're having a lot of selling coming in, especially see, that is a significant sell-off. And I just looked at the time, and it's 12:06 p.m., which basically means 3:06 p.m. in New York. And the market is about to close. And typically around end of day, everything just pretty much dumps because we have a lot of sellers coming in. As you can see, we have the same amount of buyers coming in at 18.9K buyers. So it's forming this doji that kind of wants to go back up, but not really. So we just have to basically wait to see what the market will end up doing. I would love to sell at 496.50 or 497, which I may just end up holding this overnight because Wednesdays always pump. There's some really great news coming out on Twitter about different nuances occurring tomorrow. So I do think that we might pump. So I might just save this for tomorrow. See, those red candles really make me nervous. The red candles make me feel like, oh my God, we're going to sell off and this is going to crash. But I keep having to remember that there's going to be a seesaw effect with the buyers and sellers, especially around this time because market is about to close. Now I switched over to SPY just to see what SPY is doing. Because SPY and QQQ kind of will always follow each other, I like to see what the other is doing if I'm in a trade with the other one. So SPY is also on the upside, so that means that QQQ will also be on the upside. The MACD histogram on the bottom, which is that blue, which is that green and light green bars that you see, The MACD is extremely confused. It's like it doesn't know if it wants to keep going back up. It curves down a little. It's on the 5-minute time frame, which is the best to use the MACD. But again, we're above the EMA, we're above the VWAP, and the MACD is up. Even though there is some selling power coming in, we are still on the upside. Now I usually go over to Finviz to see what the market is doing in a snapshot type of way. So we have a lot of green. As you can see, the only reds that we have are like the tech companies like Microsoft, Nvidia, Google, Meta, LLY, Amazon, and Apple are kind of on the downside, but everything else is pretty much pumping. So this is a good sign for our call. We're going to come back over to our QQQ call. And as you can see, we're done with the selling power. Now we are rising above that 495.90. So we're just going to keep watching to see how this transpires. Looking at the 15-minute, the MACD is really strong. It's completely above that line, that orange line. So that means that we have a really good chance of hitting the 496.50. Remember, the price action is all algorithms and it goes off of people's take profit and their stop loss. So usually the algorithm moves in every 50 cents increments. So that's why I'm just waiting here on the 5-minute candle to see what would happen next. Most likely I'm going to swing this contract for tomorrow because I'm seeing that there's a big upside. We're at 495.99 right now, and it is not wanting to pass that 496 and it keeps coming down. So resistance is really playing a crucial role here. Our support is by that blue EMA at 495.69. As you can see, it is not going lower than that 495 and it is not going higher than that 496. So we're kind of in this consolidation period where it's like wanting to go up, but then it keeps bouncing right back down because the sellers keep coming in. And as you can see, we have a lot of sellers coming in on that 5-minute time frame. I do know that QQQ will definitely pump tomorrow. So like I said earlier, we're definitely going to save this this contract for tomorrow and see what the market does. It's not going below that 495.68 on the 5-minute time frame. So that's a really good sign. We're above the EMA. The MACD is high, even though it's pointing down. So I think that this would be a good one to just keep watching. Let's take a look at IWM. I discovered this gem last week and I have been watching it ever since. IWM is an ETF for the Russell 2000 and it holds a lot of the a lot of different companies like Sprouts Farmers Market. It has electric companies. It has agricultural companies as well. I was supposed to enter a call trade right around that area where it was like around 220, but I was like, you know what? It's already at the resistance. I don't want to buy high. So I added it on my watch list. And as you can see, when I added this contract, it was $5. It ended up having a 2,900% return to about $139 per contract. Same here. This was $29. It ended up being $438 by the end of the day. I did not buy into these contracts because I'm still learning the characteristics and personality of IWM, but it was on a significant bull run today. So I definitely experienced a little FOMO, but I'm not mad because I'm new to this ETF. And until I understand the movement and how the characteristics and personality of that stock or ETF flows, I typically don't trade it. We do have some selling power coming in right here, which is why the candlestick is wanting to point down. But as you can see, the hammer is still pushing up. We have a strong selling power of 121,000 people coming in to sell. But that's because market is about to open and 0 DTE contracts are about to expire in about 11 minutes. So there is going to be some selling power. But if we look at it on the 1-day chart, we are just on a complete bull run. All throughout today and yesterday, IWM has rose significantly. So I'll keep watching this until further notice. Thanks for watching. Bye.